Hey guys, what's up? It's MatchPoint here, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks for spawn peeking in Rainbow Six Siege. So, if you do find this video useful, consider dropping a like on the video. And if there are any topics that you would like me to cover next, or if you have a specific topic that you are struggling with and would like me to cover it, well, comment it down below so I know to do them. And if you are new around here, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the video. So let's get on into it. Spawn peeking is a method that is used by a wide variety of players, and it can be fantastic to go ahead and pick that extra man off at the start to give your team that advantage. However, there are many tips and tricks that will give you the advantage when spawn peeking and allow you to frequently pick up those spawn peek kills. Now, the very basic method of setting up that spawn peek is simply to break a little hole in that barricade and then go ahead and peek it. Which is why I'm now going to be giving you some tips and tricks for spawn peeking to go ahead and enhance this. Now, if you're deciding to go ahead and break this barricade to go ahead and make that little hole so you can go ahead and spawn peek it, well, you definitely want to be exposing very little of your body, as it's going to minimize you as a target when the attackers do reveal that you are spawn peeking. There are a multitude of ways in which you can do this, for example, just simply stepping back a bit so you're holding that longer and tighter angle. And remember, you don't always have to go ahead and break the actual glass window. You can just go ahead and break that barricade so you have that glass window as somewhat of cover so that you can go ahead and see when they walk through, and then you can simply just break the glass by shooting through it and then eliminating your target. Now, if we are taking it a step further, then you can go ahead and actually make a bullet hole through that glass window and make sure you've got that barricade slightly open. Now, if you were to go ahead and knife the edge of that barricade so that you can see that glass window and you do have a slit through that barricade, you can then go ahead and make that bullet hole that I was mentioning before. And then this will allow you to go ahead and whenever that enemy actually walks through, you'll just see a tiny little pixel. And as soon as that changes so you can see their body, you'll be able to react to it and then take them out. This does make it a lot harder to spot for the enemy on that opposite end, as obviously when they are looking at it, it's going to be a broken glass window, so typically you're not actually going to be able to see that head, as only that pixel has been broken through to the outside. Now that we have gone ahead and covered various methods in which you can use to go ahead and spawn peek, we're now going to be moving on to some rules of spawn peeking in which you should follow. Now, we are going to be taking a look at the rule of re-peeking, and this is going to determine whether you should go ahead and peek that spawn peek once again or not. Now, if we use the example of round 1, you're going to be go ahead and spawn peeking. Now, if you are successful with that spawn peeking, you do manage to go ahead and take that kill and take that upper hand on the enemy, then ideally you do not want to be greedy and go ahead and continue peeking that angle. Most teams will have some form of communication or coordination in which they can go ahead and reveal that there is a spawn peeker, reveal your location, and then when the enemy goes ahead and peeks around that corner, they have their crosshairs lined up with you because they have that extra information. Don't be greedy, you've already got that man advantage that you've gone ahead and gained for your team, and if you can get away clean, you'll be looking great. Now, when round 2 comes along, you've got the option of to go ahead and spawn peek again. Now, if you do go ahead and decide to spawn peek again, that is completely up to you and your choice. However, the way you go about this should be done carefully. Re-peeking that exact same angle in which you picked off an enemy before is a really bad idea, as the enemies are going to be on high alert for a spawn peek, let alone peeking that same angle. In this scenario, you should be peeking a different angle from a different area. Now, whether you choose to go for a different spawn point, that's entirely up to you. However, differentiating it can be great. And just remember, a spawn peek isn't always going to be the greatest option. There are other methods that you can go about it, so definitely don't go ahead and re-peek if you don't feel that need to. Now, what happens if you are struggling to learn that map knowledge and you are struggling to learn those spawn points of the enemies in which you can go ahead and spawn peek for? Well, I'll be giving all the information that you need for learning the spawn peek points. Like with all types of map knowledge, it will come down to experience. However, there are various methods in which you can use to go ahead and change this. Now, a good option is to go ahead into a custom game and go ahead and memorize these various spawn points, locating it with previous knowledge that you already have. Throughout, you will begin to learn the callouts, which can be very handy in case you are getting spawn peeked, and then you can go ahead and reveal that information to your team and let them know about it. Now, if you don't fancy that, then you can simply just head into your regular games. However, switching up the spawn point can be a great idea. I'm sure there are very many common spawn points for your pushes or your entry points. Well, how about you go ahead and decide to switch this up so you can get used to multiple surroundings. And that is going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you have all enjoyed. If you did, or you found this video useful, then make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more tips and tricks like this. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.